So, hello, welcome back to another video for the Advanced Network Exploitation Expert course. In this video or in this session, we will be learning the things which we have already covered. It will be a summary and overview topic, probably. And yeah, we will start with my intro and we'll move towards the further information against the topic we have covered and the topic which is to be done. So here, the first what I'll do, I'll start with my quick introduction. So myself, Rikun Sindwar. What I am is, so I am a red teamer, you can say, where I work for my organization, or also I do some freelance work for multiple organization, and I do those red team assessments where we use Mitre framework, Mitre tactics techniques, if you are aware, in order to conduct this assessment. If you are not aware with the Mitre tactics techniques, then no worries. This is something in scope, not for this course, but the later on courses that I have been planned. So yeah, that is for my corporate. I'm an instructor where I do provide teaching or trainings for the corporates, where I do provide to the students, college students, and multiple talks I have completed or done or did, you can say. Also, I'm here as an instructor of this course, Advanced Network Exploitation Expert, right? So yeah, that is something for my instructor. Few certificates that I have are the OSTP, which is the exploitation expert. It is something related to red teaming and micro tactics techniques. OSWE, which is for the white box web application security assessment, where we get the source code. We do have to find the vulnerability by go through that source code. Then yeah, once we found that vulnerability, exploitation and automate the same. The next is OSCP, which is something that we will be focusing on in this entire course. It is something that will be essential for the OSCP course. All the modules are designed to prepare you guys for the OSCP. Also, I do some cybersecurity research in which I have written a couple of tools that are publicly available in my GitHub repo. So you can go and check to my profile. You'll find that GitHub link, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I have written some more tools related to red teaming, but those are not publicly available. Those are written just for some specific organization for their required skills. I do written this softwares or the tools in C Sharp, C++, and I have written some scripts in PowerShell and Python. Right. So that is something I have planned again, not for this course, but for the later on. So all the knowledge that I have, I will going to share. That is something in my mind so far. Okay, so yeah, somewhere I have 4+ years of experience till the time right now, which is 2022. Later on, you can just count the number of years that have been spent. Probably you're looking this video in 2015 or anywhere, right? So it makes sense. So this is all profile or my personal introduction that I would like to share here. I also do create some memes and some funny things. So probably most are for the Indian and related to India. So some of them you might not understand, but yeah, you can always give it a check and hit like even if you don't know. So yeah, that's all. Next thing here is the course module that we have completed here. So this is only for the enumerate all the things that is being done already, or that is something that we have just completed. This is tool focused section of this module 1, which is the basics, in which we have go through all the tools, because when you are aware with the tools, that tools can be used in a various ways for the exploitation. So this is something tool awareness sessions or tool awareness, I can say, section. Yeah, should be good. So yeah, what we started with is FTP, where we found or where we checked few vulnerabilities like anonymous login, insecure ACL, dictionary based attack, and so on and so forth. So go and check that video in order to get more information about the same. In order to conduct those activities, we have used multiple tools like FTP client. It's just a default FTP client that is available in your Linux. Nmap scripts or NAC scripts in order to find more information and vulnerabilities. FileZilla, which is a GUI based client. Browser, which you might not get working at this current time because browser has updated and patched. So what you can give it a try is you can use older version of browser in order to just give it a try, but it is not something that is recommended. And the last but not the least is Hydra in order to conduct this dictionary based attack. The next topic we have completed SMB. And the vulnerability that covered here was SMB guest session, SMB null session, and dictionary based attack again. The null session and guest session difference is simple. In the guest session, we provide username without a password. In null session, we don't provide any username and not the password. Tools that are covered in this session is SMB map, SMB client, SMB map where it lists privileges and map entire shares of that SMB service. SMB client works kinda similar and it can list and it can connect to that SMB server. Impacket SMB client is worth exploring because it offers some extra features that is easy to use and it's great. And map that we saw, like through which we can enumerate it further, like finding host information and all. Crackmap exec was introduced here initially, in which we can do password spraying attack or password enumeration kind of thing, or dictionary based attack. Simple. Hydra is an alternative that we can use here as well for doing a dictionary based attack. The third topic that we started with is SSH, where the vulnerability we focused on dictionary based attack. The next tools that we saw was Hydra and Crackmap exec, which can perform this type of attack. There is one more is username enumeration, which for which you can find the exploits, and yeah, you can give it a try to use those exploit in order to find some valid usernames. But that is something that I haven't included. But you can understand by just watching that session. So just head through it and should be good. WinRM, for the WinRM, we saw only some tools because it is something not for the vulnerability, I would say, but it is something for which we can through which we can connect to our Windows servers, Windows operating system, right? So Evil WinRM is like a client which can use to connect that WinRM service in order to execute some OS commands, and it has some extra features of modules and some other through which you can extend its functionality, right? So the tools are WinRM and Crackmap exec again. Crackmap exec is something that we will be using again and again in throughout this entire session. So go keep practice, give it a try a couple of times and or maybe more, and should be good. And keep exploring this with the latest and greatest updates. So it's really Swiss Army knife. For the RDP, we saw some vulnerability against dictionary based attack and OS information disclosure, where it disclosed some operating system information using Nmap, of course. So yeah, the tools that are included here was Hydra and Map, which we are already aware of. WinExe and PTH WinExe was introduced here. WinExe is the plain text version where if you know the password and username of your destination computer, you can use it to execute your program, right? PTH-WinExe, which is for the password or pass the hash, not for the password, but the pass the hash. So if you have the hash, you can use this in order to, of course, execute the program. Same as WinExe, it will work, right? So the next here is SMTP. For the SMTP, the vulnerability which we have looked through is username enumeration, mail spoofing, mail injection, and the tools that we have saw SMTP user enumeration for username enumeration, of course, telnet for the username enumeration again, and mail spoofing and mail injection through swaps. Fox is really great tool against Swiss Army knife, I would say, for the SMTP service. So it is again worth exploring. Go and check all the features offered by Swags. And again, it's worth exploring. MySQL, the vulnerability which we have saw or we have covered here was dictionary based attack again, insecure privileges. When you have insecure or the file permission, basically you can write any file to the server, and some information disclosure. The tool that we have focused here was Hydra, Nmap, and MySQL client. So moving further for the NFS, the vulnerability which we have seen here or covered, open network share. To find out open network share if there is any, using show mount. And using mount, you can mount that open network share. If you have the credential, you can use those credential in order to mount those. And Nmap, of course. So again, this is all tool focused sessions, and most important things here is the tools only. For the SNMP, sensitive information disclosure related to your SNMP server, and it displays all the network connection processes and whatnot. So just give it a check to that video and you'll get more understanding. SNMP check and SNMP walk are the tool through which we can gather those information, where SNMP check is more for the human readable format and SNMP walk is something, or it is a tool through which we can get those information, but it requires some extra efforts, right? So the output is not something easy to read, and it's little messy, which is like completely cleared with the SNMP check. But both are worth exploring. SNMP walk is little advanced, so you should more focus to that in order to exploit your destination service. The complex things are designed to be have some extra feature, right? So just give it a try with the complex thing, and this easier thing will be much easier. Of course, it is intended for the easy output. Yeah, for the MyS or MSSQL here, we saw some common passwords that can be applied. Nothing much information. Basically, we also saw that, if I remember correctly, we also saw Nmap. Through Nmap we can disclose some information against those MSSQL server. However, we have set it some test cases there using with the common passwords strategy, right? So for which we saw another tool here, which is from Impacket module, MSSQL client. MSSQL client from Impacket is really good. The reason it offers this enable XPCMD shell, and it's easier. You no need to write that entire code in order to enable that. You can just simply type enable and should be good. And you can directly use XPCMD shell in order to execute OS commands here. So this is again something really interesting. For the HTTPS here, which will have, or for the HTTP services or web application, we're gonna have another specific section in this module. So for that we will be focusing later, but right now what we have seen is basic information gathering against server and all. So the first thing that we hear for the vulnerability, we saw hidden directory enumeration. It's not the vulnerability, but I have just make it in a category, right? Subdomain enumeration and virtual host enumeration. The tool for three of them are used. Buster. The Nikto is another tool for scanning vulnerabilities. I haven't added that vulnerability here. Probably I forgot, but yeah, it is something which you can find in detail when you go through this particular topic. So go to YouTube channel, watch that video, or you can go through my Gitbook, right? So everything here, what you can see is covered in this particular section. For the Nmap, we have dedicated playlist, or we have dedicated section that is already completed. So just go and check. The things here I want to highlight is my Gitbook. So the URL pretty much simple, gitbook.probensive.in. slash any. If you add it, it's fine. If you don't add it, that is also totally fine. Through which you will get entire information for the nmap section, or this is all for the module 1, which we will be focusing on. There is another subtopic, ports, running services and all. If there is any other topics that is required, which will be, I will just going to add it here. So that's the reason I have subcategorized it. All the different scans, if you see here, is something written. So go through it, understand it, and it's something like a handbook. You'll have that handbook and everything in one place. So you can keep this as a handbook, watch that video, and you can compare, combine, and you'll get some good idea, right? And for the summary against this nmap module is something mentioned here. So again, for all the topics, summary will be there through which you can understand it furthermore, right? So just give it a try, give it a check, and you'll get much more understanding. Hope that makes sense. The second topic or second module, not the module, yeah, section, for which we started with FTP, all the different subcategorized here through FTP client, through browser that we have just talked about, and through FileZilla, to the nice and GUI version, right? So every image will have the small line explaining it, so it's not much complicated. You'll have the information that is required to you at this time. So later on, it will gonna have some more, but not in this category or not in this section, but in the later on. So this enumerate all the things that we have just completed, and the mind map against the same is here. If you want this link, or if you want link to this mind map, just click here and it will be with you. Okay, so if you don't get here, I have another version, PDF. So in order to get that PDF, you need to connect me over LinkedIn, where I'll be posting this. And yeah, in this PDF, all the topics that are covered is mentioned here. The next module that we will be starting, or next section that will be starting, is Metasploit All The Things, where we will be starting with the basic. We'll starting with the Venom or MSF Venom, writing Trojan and all. Auxiliaries are nothing but a scanners basically. So how you can scan your destination through Metasploit auxiliaries, and the exploits in order to perform those attacks, and the post module in order to do, once you compromise, in order to perform some different attacks once you compromise your victim machine. So all those topics we will be starting later on, right? Also, it has a list of tools that we have covered for your understanding, right? So nmap, so far whatever the tools we have covered is included here. Nmap we saw, FTP, FileZilla and all, with the small short usage or description, I would say. So just give it a check, it will really help. Nmap, and if you just go through down, everything will be here in detail, or at least it is something that is required. So here we go. If I scroll down to the last, you'll get the latest version of this thing. So if you just click on this image, you will be redirected to the specific mind map, and you can download this mind map and do whatever you really wish to do. Okay, taking time, probably I can open a new tab. It'd be much better and faster probably. Yeah, if you see, the URL is same, so probably my network or DNS is conflicting, but yeah, it makes sense, right? It's the same URL. You can even copy and paste this. And in this xmind file, you'll find YouTube channel. If you don't have, of course, you can give it a try or give it a share. Get book link, so if you can click here in order to get that to the link, right? Also, in the same xmind, I have some other topics, like topics that I will going to cover. So you can go through that as well, not just the specific I have shared. There is one more. Let me quickly copy that link and paste it here in order to get through it. So the link has been copied. Let's paste and wait for this to respond. It will take some time probably. So it is still depend on your network. So let's wait. Should be done in few seconds. Here we go. So all the topics that are mentioned here will be covered. All the topics, of course. AD is not included here at this time period, of course. But when we start in this course, Advanced Network Exploitation Expert, I will going to update the specific to the version 3, where I'll be adding the different Active Directory exploitation and enumeration. Right now, at the current time, we are not including it at all. But once we are done with all the topics, there will be another module for the Active Directory. So yeah, let's give it a check, go through this, and you will get much more understanding. Everything or every topic will gonna have this small short link. So if you click on it, you will be redirected to that specific enumeration, right? So it is something right now forwarded to the different links, not for this specific course that we are designing, because this is something I written or created in 2021 or 2020. I don't remember. Yeah, 2021. So it's last year. And yeah, so if you have anything, any suggestions or something, you can also connect me on Telegram, where I usually be active on, or my LinkedIn profile, where I regularly post some information, some memes, and few more things. The last but not the least, my YouTube channel right here, through which you'll get all the links to my Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, GitHub. In GitHub, you'll find the tools that I have created or forked and whatnot, whatever the required one, of course. And my Twitter, I don't really use Twitter much, but if you guys are following, then probably I'll start posting there as well some information. So yeah, in my YouTube channel, you will find different playlist. In community talks, all the talks that I have delivered, not all, it's very few, but there are some more talks that I have been delivered, or I have delivered already, but it's not recorded. So the one that is recorded is something that I have shared here. So go and check. Those are something that are basics and advanced both, but it's worth exploring. The course, of course, this Advanced Network Exploitation Expert is in a different categorized. And yeah, here you'll find all the videos. There are almost 20 plus videos. I don't exactly remember that count, but yeah, you'll find this keep up being updated. So here we go. Scroll down till there are total 24 videos. The last is HTTP and HTTPS, and this one will be uploaded soon. The shorts videos are for someone who are new to here, and yeah, in which I just try to explain some small topics in a simple way, like what is the reverse shell, what is a web shell, what is a bind shell, and whatnot. So in a simple way, I try to explain most of the things. Go and check this. If you like, of course, you can like. If you love it, or if you really think it should be shared with other, then do share it. If you feel to subscribe for more learning videos, then yeah, you can go ahead. And for the other information, of course, click on about, go and check my other links that I have been sharing. So that's all. That's it for this video. Hope you liked. Hope you know something better than before at least. And yeah, that is something that I'm closing my current section, which is for enumerate all the things. Will be completed. The next topic which will be started is metasploit all the things, in which we will be completing, or in which we will be exploring some different metasploit techniques and the topics, right? So yeah, that's it. That's all. See you next time. Good day.